Marijuana is a highly debated topic right now, specifically whether or not it should be legalized at the federal level. I believe personally that it should, and I believe that because there's a risk associated with marijuana. That risk is growing right now, and I believe by legalizing it, that risk can be controlled. What I mean by that is there are new offerings, there are new product offerings, new people getting into the business, as well as certain states that have legalized it that open you up for more exposure. Insurance companies are trying to write this risk. However, insurance companies can't write the risk the way that they should because they can't get sufficient funding from banks. Banks will not fund them if they're trying to write a risk for a drug that is on the controlled substances list, which marijuana is. And insurance companies also don't have the data to write the risk. This is where the federal government comes in and why legalizing it would be a good thing. If the federal government legalized marijuana, then they could write this risk as an emerging risk for, let's say, the first 5 or 10 years, the same as the National Terrorism Program and the insurance for that. They would write this risk for 5 to 10 years. They would see some of the losses and exposures associated with marijuana. They would be able to fund it, and then insurers would be able to take over once they have data on it. Instead, insurance companies are trying to do this right now. They're going to take losses because their policies don't have sufficient funding. They're not written correctly. They don't have the data to do it. And we're all going to take a hit because insurance rates will rise, these companies may lose money, and the government will have to bail them out, which comes back on our taxes. This is part of the risk that's associated with marijuana. I believe it should be legalized so the government can control it. If the government can control marijuana, they can tax it as steeply as they want. Look at it like cigarettes or alcohol. They can control this risk. They can make sure that the positives associated with the drug for things like CBD are out there, and the negatives are controlled as well as they can be. That is why I believe that the government should legalize marijuana.